Problem 1.109 from I.E.Irodov, and the concept is stability of circular orbits. Right. So here in this question, following concepts are involved. Concept 1, which is the law of orbit. Law of orbit, which is same as the Newton's second law, which says that a particle can be in an orbit, a particle can revolve in a circular orbit only when a particle can revolve in a circular orbit at a constant speed only when it has a force directed towards the center of orbit, and the amount of that force should be equals to mv square over r. I repeat this statement. Law of orbit or Newton's second law, it says that a particle can sustain in a circular orbit, it can revolve in a circular orbit at a constant speed, let's say v, only if there is a force acting on the particle which has a direction towards the center of orbit and which has magnitude mv square over r. So this is the essential condition. This equation is the essential condition for a particle to be in a circular orbit. If the force which is directed towards center, is more than mv square by r or less than mv square by r, the particle cannot maintain the orbit of given size. It will either move radially inward or it will move radially outward. In order to maintain orbit of a given radius, r at a given speed v, there must be a force on the particle towards the center which is exactly equals to mv square by r. That is the concept number 1. Right, this is the concept behind this question. I will explain it with some example now. Let's say we have a circular orbit of a given radius. Let's say that given radius is 2 meter. We have a particle of mass 2 kilogram, and we want that particle to move in this circle. With a speed of 2 meter per second. So all my requirement is, I want a particle of 2 kilogram to move in a circle of radius 2 meter with a speed of 2 meter per second. And I can achieve my target, I can fulfill my target if I apply a force on the particle. If I apply a force on this particle towards the center, and the magnitude of force must be appropriate value, and the appropriate value of the force must be mv square by r, which is 2 kilogram is mass, v square is 2 square divided by radius 2, and that is equals to 4 Newton. So if I apply a force of 4 Newton on this particle towards the center of circle, I can achieve the target where the particle will now move in this circle, move along the circle, move in the orbit of radius 2 meter under the action of this force 4 Newton. Think what will happen if you apply a force which is more than 4, let's say 4.1. I mean, if I apply a force which is more than 4, or if I apply a force which is less than 4, what will happen? In both cases, the particle cannot move on this specific circular path. In both cases, the particle cannot move in a circle of specified radius. It will travel, it will move on a curved path, but obviously that curved path will not be the circle which we are expecting for particle. If the force which we have applied is more than the appropriate value, the particle will leave this circular orbit and it will travel towards the inside path. It will travel towards this side, f. It will happen when f is more than 4. And when you apply lesser force, less than 4, the particle will fail to move on this circle. It will leave the circle and will travel in a larger path. It will happen. So the main concept behind this question is, if we want a particle to travel on a circular path of specified radius with specified speed, you have to apply a force on that particle which is exactly equals to mv square over r. Now coming back to the question part. This was the concept behind this question. Now coming back to this question. Here we have a particle moving on the circle, and the force acting on that particle depends on the distance from a fixed point, let's say O, and let's suppose that the distance is r. If you read the statement of question, it is given in this question that the force which is acting on the particle is perpendicular to its velocity, and it is perpendicular to velocity at every moment. You can read the question, and the particle is moving along a circle. So this law has to be satisfied. If I want this particle to move on a circle of some specified radius r, I must apply a force capital F on this particle, which should be equals to mv square over r. And they have given that the force which is acting on this particle is dependent on 1 over r to the power n. So let's say I assume this force F to be some constant value a over r raised to the power n. A is the constant value, appropriate dimensions. This particle will move on the circle with the same speed as long as this force capital F, which is a over r to the power n, is exactly equals to mv square over r. As long as this relation is satisfied, the particle is moving on the circle. The particle will continue to move on the circle without any problem. So that's my equation number 1. What happens if I increase the radius? What happens if I increase the radius of this particle and I make it r plus delta r? Let's say if I increase the radius r plus delta r, what happens? Still the particle will have same mass and the same speed now. But if you increase the radius, definitely the force which is toward the center will change, and now it will become a over r plus delta r raised to the power n. Now if this force, remember, if this force which is a over r plus delta r to the power n, if this force is equal to the required centripetal force of the new orbit. Remember, our new orbit is of larger radius. It has a radius of r plus delta r now. So if this modified value of force, equal to the new required value of centripetal force, then particle will continue to move on this new orbit. So if remember, notice that if a over r plus delta r to the power n, which is the new value of force F, if this new value of force F is equal to mv square over the new radius, which is r plus delta r, if these two are equal, the particle will settle down, the particle will continue to move in this new orbit, and it will not go back to the previous orbit. If I want this particle to go back to the previous orbit, because that's the demand of question. You want the circular orbit to be steady orbit, and steady orbit means if the orbit radius is slightly increased or the orbit radius is slightly decreased, the particle must be restored to the previous orbit. This particle will be restored to the previous orbit according to this concept if that force is more than mv square by r. So if a over r plus delta r to the power n exceeds mv square upon the new radius, the particle will fail, this particle will fail to travel on the circle of increased radius, and it will be shifted inward direction, shifted to the inside direction, and will be restored to the previous orbit. And that is the essential condition of stable orbit. That's the required condition of stable orbit. Now the mathematical portion. Now the mathematical portion of question is as, you can bring down a, you can put the value of a from here, you replace r to the power n at that side, and you get mv square r raised to the power n over r, and then it is r plus delta r to the power n should be more than mv square over r plus delta r. mv square cancelled, and I will use approximation that delta r is very small quantity, so that we can use binomial approximation here. And when you use binomial approximation here, binomial approximation can be used in this way. If we have 1 plus delta r over r raised to the power n, then from the binomial approximation you can write it 1 plus n delta r over r. You have to use this concept here. Mathematical portion, take care of the mathematical portion, use the mathematics, use this approximation, and then you will come to know that n is less than 1, and that was the condition for question. This was the criteria, this was the demand of question. If n is less than 1, the orbit will be stable orbit, otherwise it is going to be unstable orbit, right? So this was the question number 1.109. again a very good question, a very conceptual question. Understanding of centripetal force is required. What is stability? How do we check whether the stability is stable, whether the equilibrium is stable equilibrium or it is unstable equilibrium? So all these concepts are involved in this specific question, and that is why it is a very good question for the conceptual understanding, and very helpful for JEE Advanced, JEE Main or other exams related to physics at the level of class 12. Right? Take care, stay at home, and all the best for your JEE exam.